Oh, you were an accounting major. Betty? Huh? Katie. I got everything but the first letter correct. Which box would your salary as an accountant for an organization, which box would it go in? Are you as an accountant making tables?
No.
Correct. So the salary of the accountant who's keeping track of all those numbers goes in the fixed period. Okay? Darren, you said you were marketing. So let's assume, or finance, but you said you might be going into sales. You were thinking about going into sales. So if you were to go into sales and take a job that was 100% commission, where would your salary go in those boxes?
Product variable.
I would ask you the same question I asked Katie. Are you going to be making tables?
No. So period,
variable period, okay? Variable period. So if you're not making tables, you're not going to be part of product cost. Okay? How are we doing? Good. Awesome. Anybody have a question, comment, concern, random thought? How are we doing for time? We're doing not too bad. Huh? So let's move on. Now we're going to go to those 3 income statement types. So let's look at the next page. Variable costing income statement format, that page. So I'll try and do them in order here. Variable costing income statement is going to be revenue minus variable costs equals contribution margin minus fixed costs equals operating income. Okay, variable costing income statement format, revenue minus variable costs equals contribution margin minus fixed costs equals operating income. Which part? CM means contribution margin. Any other one we don't know?
Minus fixed cost equals
operating income. Operating income. Also known as, you might have learned it in your prior accounting class as net income before taxes. Operating income and net income before taxes are essentially the same thing. Sir? Operating income. Operating income. Good questions. Very good questions. So revenue minus variable costs equals contribution margin minus fixed costs equals operating income. And recognize in the variable costing income statement format, what's the second number? Variable costs. Oh, I wonder who thought of that creative name for this particular income statement format. Oh, my heavens. Absorption costing income statement is going to be revenue minus cost of goods sold equals gross margin minus selling and administrative expenses equals operating income. Can anybody smell this besides me? Whew. There's a reason professors are sometimes happy. Got a half smile out of Seth and nothing out of anybody else. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what did you say the GM and SA were?
GM stands for gross margin. Gross margin. And there's an and symbol between the S and the A. So that's S and A. No, that's okay. S and A. And so those stand for selling and administrative expenses. Selling and administrative expenses. So far, so good? Alex, were you the last person I talked to? No. No, so you're next? Sure. Well, your card's on top, so it's either I just talked to you or you're going to be next. So what were the first two terms that we defined when we started today? Variable costs and fixed costs. And he didn't even have to look at his notes to see that. Very good. And so what do we got here? Variable costs and fixed costs. Okay? What do you think the question is I'm going to ask now, Jackie? Where's Jackie Fraser? What question do you think I'm going to ask now? Do you have a guess? Because if I just asked about the first two terms. Yes. What were the second two terms that we?
No.
No.
Cost and period cost.
Product costs and period costs. And you know what we have here? Product costs and period costs. And so those terms are really important. They're so important, those particular definitions that we started out the semester with in some real sense. They're important enough that they form the kind of the backbone of the two income statement formats. And which one of these did you learn about last semester? Chance? Where's Chance? Which one?
The variable costing.
Are you sure?
Well, no. What is probably the
Absorption. Which one's GAAP? What's GAAP stand for? Generally accepted accounting principles. Which one of these is GAAP? Brandon? What was my question now? Which one's GAAP between these two? The variable costing income statement format and the absorption costing income statement format. So the income statements that you prepared in your last class, did they include variable costs or did they include cost of goods sold? Cost of goods sold. Okay, so which one of these two income statement? Absorption. Okay, very good. Very good.